Have you ever wondered how the most successful people of all time and the most successful investors start their day? In this video, I'm going to talk about the morning routine of every great or successful investor, and I'm also going to explain the 10 parts of my morning routine as well. One of my favorite, or two of my favorite people of all time is Tim Ferriss, who wrote that amazing book, The 4-Hour Workweek, and obviously Tony Robbins, who's sort of like the king of motivation, old school way, but both of these guys have interviewed literally hundreds, if not thousands, of very successful business owners and investors over the years, and they've documented what these people have done from a morning routine perspective, and there's very precise similarities between the systematic way that certain investors actually start their day. Now, almost all of these people start their day in a positive way and try and start their day as consistently as possible so that they get themselves into the right state before they even begin. And generally these consistent habits is to drink a decent amount of water or maybe some lemon water. They do some sort of stretching, maybe some meditation, maybe some form of breathing. They might work out in the morning. They definitely sit down and prepare for their day in terms of setting their goals. And the biggest consistency is they don't let the day start them. They start their day the way that they would like to start their day. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that I've been trialing over the last 10 years that I've been investing, and some of the things that are really working for me now. Now, the first thing that I do when I wake up, and I've got 3 children, all of them are young at the moment, so generally the way that I'm being woken up at the moment is a big slap in the face type thing, but it does shock me into the day. But before I get out of bed, I take a bunch of breaths just to bring myself 100% awareness-wise into my body and, you know, get that oxygen, get that blood flowing around a little bit and moving well. Now, the second thing I always do before I eat any food is I try and drink at least 750 mils to 1 liter of water. Now, the reason I do that is overnight, a huge amount of stuff gets caught in our system. Some of my friends drink lemon water or hot water to really cleanse the system. But water is super vital to just sort of flush everything out, to get everything working well. I generally try and do that at least half an hour before I eat so that the water has enough time to get out of my body as well. The third thing I then go and do as my kids are playing around me is I sit down and I just stretch on the floor. So I've got a little stretching routine that helps me loosen up my back, my neck, my shoulders, my hips, my legs, you know, my arms, my chest, and it gets me in a really nice state of mind where the blood's flowing, I'm moving nice and loose or well. Lately I've been getting hugely into yoga and Pilates, so some mornings I'll replace the stretching with one of those things. Just a quick 10 or 20 minute video on YouTube. Like, I'm not talking about going and spending money on that stuff, just that's what I've done. After my stretch, which might take 20 minutes, you know, this is aspirational for me. I don't always get to do this every day just because generally the kids are like, can you take me to the park? Can you take me to the beach before school? Or we're playing around doing something. But I do love to meditate. So after the stretching, if I can, now that I'm all warmed up and in a good frame of mind, I'll just try and do a 2 to sort of 10 minute meditation. My meditation's super simple. 4-second count to breathe in, hold for 2 seconds, which is the space between the breath, out through the nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2. So it's 4 in, hold for 2, 4 out, hold for 2. It's that simple, and I just focus on my breath. I'm not advanced in any way from a meditation perspective, but I've found that a lot of successful investors do meditate on a daily basis just to clear their mind and to get themselves in a state where they're ready to receive information and make the absolute most out of their day. After I finish my meditation, or if I miss meditation, the 5th thing that I do every day is I say 3 things in the morning and 3 things at night that I'm extremely grateful for. Now, Tony Robbins is a huge believer in this. He said there wasn't a single billionaire that he had ever interviewed that didn't do this every single day, and that is constantly put out gratitude into their universe or into their day. Now, it might be as simple this morning for me. For example, I finished my yoga. I was just lying on my back looking up at the sky. And there was this beautiful little bird that landed on like the wire above me. I said I was grateful for that. I could hear the ocean in the background. I went for a surf this morning as well to start my day. And I could hear the ocean, and I was excited because I knew it was a nice morning out there. I also said that I was so grateful for my family, and I was so grateful that I got to show up and do this sort of content today because I knew I'd be coming from an epic place. Now, gratitude is massive. If you are only ever thinking about yourself as an investor, or getting caught up in the fear, or getting caught up in, you know, whatever it is that you get involved in, meditating and slowing down your mind, and then having gratitude can be, you know, just a daily thing that only takes you a few minutes to really start changing things for the better. The sixth thing I do is set my intention for the day. Each day I have an intention. At the moment, my intention's pretty much the same every day, and that is it's going to be an incredible day, and I'm attracting amazing things into my life and opportunities into my life as a person, as a investor. You know, and then a lot of successful people, myself included, I never ever start my work day until I've actually set my goals for the day. So I'm always very, very clear about what it is that I want to achieve, because life is, you know, meaningful if you're fulfilled and feeling good, but it's also fulfilling and rewarding if you're achieving stuff. And so it's really nice to finish a work day. At the moment, I'm working 3 to 4 days a week in my business, Pumped on Property. Sometimes I work 5 days, 6 days. You know, it just depends on how I'm feeling and what's going on. But, you know, setting goals is extremely important to walk away from me personally, you know, at the end of the year, at the end of a month, at the end of a day, so that I've, you know, ticked some things off. And I know that I'm walking in the right direction as an investor and as a person. Now, the eighth thing that I always start my day with is a healthy brekkie. I'm huge on, you know, living a nice, clean lifestyle, mentally, physically, spiritually, and also as an investor, financially. So a healthy brekkie starts that. I like to start my day always with a smoothie. At the moment, I've got this little one, which is some coconut water, some milk, some coconut oil, some chia seeds, lots of spinach leaves, some banana, maybe some berries, maybe some mango, and whatever healthy stuff I've got in there that I just feel like chucking in. So me and my kids always start the day with that. One of my daughters loves it. The other one's a bit here nor there, as if I put lots of honey in it, then she'll drink it. But I, you know, start with a smoothie, and then if I'm feeling hungry, I'll do like avocado or eggs on toast. And I find starting with great food and fuel for your day as an investor is a very, very interesting way to absolutely go there and kick some ass. The ninth thing that I do, which I'm lucky enough to have, is I spend some time with my family. So, you know, all of that might sound like a lot. The breathing, the water, the stretching, the meditation, the gratitude, the intention, the goals, and the brekkie. But, you know, the reality is that takes about 35, 40 minutes to like do all of that. Now, I'm a dad of 3. I run businesses, I invest, I train, I spend heaps of time with my wife and my kids. You know, there's so much more time in a day than you will give yourself credit for. So, you know, starting that day, making that 35 minutes or 40 minutes of time to start in the right way is a selfish thing that I do every day, so that the rest of my day really continues on in the right direction. And sometimes I modify this, like if I'm away or doing something different or just don't have the time to, I'll just do a slightly modified version where I might spend 5 minutes just stretching or moving or jumping Tony Robbins style and saying I'm grateful for stuff. But then, you know, the most important thing for me out of all of this is I spend time with my family. I drop my kids at school every single day, 5 days a week, unless I really need to go see a client or do something different in the business. So that time with family is important. We go down the beach before I start work. We go to the park. I taught my daughter to ride over the last couple of mornings, which has been sick. I walk them to school and I say goodbye, and then you know, from then, the 10th thing I do is I get into my day. You know, I get into the office at about 9 o'clock, or the days off, I just, you know, go do a workout or something like that. The 10th thing I go and do is I fucking kick ass. Like, if you set your day like this every day, you breathe, you have some water, you move, you stretch, you meditate, you set your intention, you focus on your goals for the day and maybe for the year, so that you can constantly keep seeking out that stuff. You have a healthy brekkie, you spend some time with your partner or your kids or a mate, and then you go out there and you kick ass in your day. Everything is better. And you know, I can't believe they don't teach this stuff in school. As an investor, setting my day and therefore having the energy to go out there and do what needs to be done, because some days are bloody hard as an investor. I found this morning routine is super helpful. Now, I'd love to hear the things that you do in your morning routine. Obviously, this is a clean, no hate channel, so don't put dirty stuff in the comments, guys. Like, let's get real about this. And you know, if you're hating on morning routines, mornings aren't for you, that's completely cool. But I'd love to hear what you do as an investor that helps set your morning routine that's different. I ask every single person and client that I meet what their routine is in the mornings and how they spend their lives. I'm fascinated about starting my day in the best possible way, you know, starting the week in the best way I can, and, you know, continually working in the direction of my dreams. So these are things that I've found that have been helpful. The other thing outside of that is making sure I know where I want to be, you know, 15 years from now as a big picture, and what my immediate next step is going to be, and where I want to be 12 months from today. So good luck. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. I wish you all the best with your morning routine, and you know, why not give it a crack tomorrow? Good luck with your investing this year. See ya.